Now up the key. Wait, stop and think. Do you realize that the impact of corruption and careless decisions by that clansman or family member of yours doesn't know tribalism or nepotism? Let's hold everyone accountable for a better society and country. If you see something, say something to the right authorities.
This message is reaching you from Diamond 88.7 FM, Eloy.
Welcome back from that break. Please note that you can listen to us via our website, www.diamondfm.net, or watch us live on Facebook, Diamond 87 FM, and YouTube, Diamond FM, Eloy. Now the news in detail. The House of Representatives was in a rowdy session in the early hours of today as lawmakers disagreed over a motion seeking to reverse the passage of the Electoral Act Amendment Bill, which contained real-time electronic transmission of results. The chairman of the House of Representatives Committee on Rules and Business, Francis Wave, had moved a motion for the House to reverse its decision on the bill, which was passed on December 23, in line with the Senate's position on real-time electronic transmission of election results. According to the report, when the Speaker of the House, Tajuddin Abbas, put the motion to a voice vote, the nays were louder than the ayes, ruling that the nays had it. The ruling, however, triggered protests from lawmakers who began shouting in objection, prompting the Speaker to call for an executive session. Three South Africans have been charged with murder over the killing of a Nigerian e-hailing driver, Isaac Satlat, after a dashcam footage of the incident was shared widely on social media and has since sparked public outrage. The suspects, between the ages of 24 and 30, appeared briefly in court in Pretoria yesterday. Police have also confirmed that a fourth suspect has handed himself over and is expected to appear in court today. Meanwhile, the 22-year-old victim's family stated that Isaac Satlat was a Nigerian national living in South Africa, adding that the attack was not connected to his nationality, despite repeated cases of xenophobic violence in the country. The Federal Ministry of Health has ordered an immediate disengagement of directors who have spent at least 8 years in the Directorate cadre with immediate effect. According to a memo cited by news correspondents in Abuja on Tuesday morning, the directors affected include those in the ministry, federal hospitals, agencies, among others. Recall that in July 2023, the former head of civil service of the Federation, Folashade Yemieson, announced the commencement of the revised public service rules. The rules also stipulate that a director on the grade level 17 or other equivalent shall compulsorily retire after 8 years in that position. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has warned transport unions saddled with delivery of the logistics for Saturday's Federal Capital Territory FCT Area Council elections to adhere strictly to agreed arrangements. INEC Chairman Professor Joash Amupito gave the warning at a meeting with leaders of transport unions in Abuja ahead of the elections, saying that the Commission would not tolerate excuses that could undermine the process. A statement by INEC Director, Voter Education and Publicity, Mrs. Victoria Etamese, listed the unions as National Union of Road Transport Workers and URTW, National Association of Road Transport Owners, NATO, and Maritime Workers Union of Nigeria. Moving on, Governor of Zamfara State, Dauda Lawal, has approved the immediate payment of February salaries and pensions ahead of the forthcoming Ramadan, directing the State Accountant General to release the funds without delay. The approval was disclosed in a statement signed on Monday by the Commissioner for Information and Culture, Mahmoud Dantewasa. According to a statement, the directive is aimed at allowing workers and retirees to make adequate preparations and comfortably commence the holy months of Ramadan. Still in the news, the Osun State government has refuted claims that local government workers are working without salaries due to the prolonged withholding of federal allocations. In a statement issued via X on Tuesday, the State Commissioner for Information and Public Enlightenment, Kalakwa Alimi, described the narratives as misleading and factually inaccurate. The government insisted that core salaries have continued uninterrupted through state-level interventions. However, he added that the continued hijacking of the 230 billion naira allocation has directly impacted the payment of certain allowances and supplementary entitlements ordinarily funded from those statutory allocations. And lastly, on the local scene, the Kwara and Niger State governments have promised that efforts will be made in collaboration with relevant authorities to address the security challenges affecting the two states. This was disclosed by the Kwara State Governor, Abdurrahman Abdulrazak, during a condolence visit to the Niger State Governor, Mohammed Bago, following recent terrorist attacks in communities under the Borgu Emirate. Speaking during the visit, Governor Abdulrazak described the assaults as unfortunate and heartbreaking, noting that the violence has heightened security concerns along the Kwara-Niger border. Governor Abdulrazak, however, extended the sympathy of both the Kwara State government and the Nigeria Governors Forum to Niger State, assuring that collaborative efforts with relevant authorities would continue to address security challenges. That's it on the local scene. The news on the hour is reaching you from Diamond 88.7 FM in Lorry. We take a short break. When we return, we bring you foreign and sports news. In foreign news, Moroccan lawyers end strike after government backs down on reform bill. We'll bring you that story and many others after the break. Please stay with us.
For up-to-date news reported across the globe, be rest assured you're on the right radio dial. Diamond 88.7 FM Ilorin, your shining supreme station.
Follow us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Diamond 887 FM. Diamond FM, shining supreme.
Welcome back from that break. You're still listening to the news on the hour, reaching you from Diamond 88.7 FM. Before that break, we brought you local stories. Now we move on to the foreign scene. In foreign news, lawyers in Morocco have ended a week-long strike after the government suspended a disputed bill regulating the legal sector and agreed to open talks. The Association of Moroccan Bars said Prime Minister Aziz Akanouch would oversee revisions through a joint commission of officials and legal practitioners. The bill was aimed at modernizing the sector and strengthening anti-corruption measures. However, lawyers opposed the bill's provision, which allows the courts to discipline them directly, arguing that it threatened their independence, staged protest in Rabat. Meanwhile, the government has now postponed sending the draft law to Parliament, signaling a willingness to amend contentious clauses while maintaining that reforms to the legal profession are needed. Still in foreign news, the head of Niger's military junta, General Abdurrahman Tiani, has declared the start of a new dynamic with Algeria. General Tiani made this known on Monday after meeting with Algerian President Abdelmajid Tebboune in Algiers to announce the construction of a new gas pipeline. The 4,000-kilometer trans-Saharan gas pipeline is expected to transport gas extracted in Nigeria to Algeria and will cross the territory of Niger. Initial steps are due to start after Ramadan. Meanwhile, Algerian President Tebboune said the visit marked an end to an abnormal period of lack of passion between the two countries. That's it in the foreign scene. Moving on to the world of sports, grassroots football club Kolobigi FC of Lafiaji has emerged victorious at the 2026 Kwara State Interlocal Government Areas Peace and Unity Football Tournament, IPOFT, clinching the coveted title and a 500,000 naira grand prize, defeating Sado FC of Sarage in a penalty shootout. The 2026 Kwara State Interlocal Government Areas Peace and Unity Football Tournament, IPOT, concluded in grand style, cementing its place as a premier grassroots sporting event in the region. The tournament that kicked off on February 1st, following a formal draw on January 28, was competed amongst 16 teams from the Edu, Patigi Moro, Ifelodu, and Kayama local government areas. Still in sports news, Borussia Dortmund coach Niko Kovac has disclosed that he expects a very intense encounter against Atalanta on Tuesday's UEFA Champions League first leg playoff. Speaking during a press conference, Kovac stated that Dortmund must replicate their impressive domestic form on the Champions League stage against the Serie A club. Meanwhile, the former Croatian international acknowledged Atalanta has a great team. He, however, stressed the importance for his team to advance to the next round away from the knockout stages. And that's it in the world of sport. With that, we've come to the end of the News on the Hour for today. But before we go, here's a recap of the major highlight. Reps in rowdy session over motion to rescind real-time clause in Electoral Act. Governor Dauda Lawal orders early February salary payment for Zamfara workers. 3 South Africans charged over murder of Nigerian boat driver. Kwara government planned joint strategies with Niger over terror attacks. On the foreign scene, Moroccan lawyers end strike after government backs down on reform bill. And in sports news, Kolubi JFC clinches Kwara Peace and Unity Cup in dramatic shootout. Those are the major headlines as brought to you this afternoon. Before we wrap up the news, we take a look at our Today in History segment. Did you know that on this day in the year 1930, Clyde Tombaugh, a 24-year-old American with no formal training in astronomy, discovered the dwarf planet Pluto using a 13-inch telescope at the Laurel Observatory in Flagstaff, Arizona, United States of America. Now you know. For news coverage or information about happenings around you, kindly contact the Diamond FM newsroom number on 091 606 27526. 091 606 27526. Please join us at 3 p.m. for the news flash and at 5 p.m. for the news across the world for a comprehensive bulletin. The news on the hour was put together by Nidu Okorie. I am Bisola ODUWOLE SULEIMAN. Thank you for listening to your shining Supreme Station. Please stay tuned for the news in Yoruba coming up shortly. Good afternoon and have a wonderful rest of the day.
Want to know why we do what we do in serving you the best of broadcasting at Diamond 88.7 FM? You're worth it. You know you're worth it. Yes, you're worth it. We'll go the whole mile for you. Diamond 88.7 FM. We've got you.